this is, I think that being a rebel is re-questioning everything, not taking everything as given and not forever. Because otherwise you just stay there and you are dying. If you want to go further, you have to question.
Odile Decq was born in 1955 in France. She is a French architect, urban planner and academic. France is a place full of history and stories, rich in natural beauty and material resources, which has led to the birth of many famous artists and architects. So when you walk casually on the road, you will be attracted by the surrounding scenery. This artistic atmosphere is infecting everyone here. Odile is also influenced by such an artistic atmosphere. In the 1970s, Odile Decq first entered École Régionale d'Architecture de Rennes. She was told by the first-year director that she would never become an architect, because she did not possess the right spirit. She completed 2 years at Rennes, then moved to Paris, where she enrolled at La Villette. Because of the revolution of 1960s, Decq spent a lot of time on strike instead of in class. This was a time when society was recovering from World War II, and television gave people a common perspective on the world and the ability to experience major public events, which led people to thought and reflection, and the civil rights movement flourished everywhere. Waves of social movements throughout the 1960s began to shape the values of the generation who were students during 1968. This event also inspired Odile, who began to reflect on her studies and work, which shaped her as a maverick, always questioning and rebellious. She has been fighting for women's rightful place in the construction industry ever since.
We have to make the young women believing that they can become an architect or they can study architecture and do something with that, because this is not so evident, and it's a question of self-confidence. As I explained in my speech, that it's a question of social and cultural issue, that women are not self-confident enough and they don't believe that they can succeed. That means that we have to change the view and the point of view from the student time to the role of women and boys and men in architecture. And at the same time, we have to modify the education to be able to open the issue and to be able to build more opportunities for women and students to go out without not only going in an offices but working with the capacity and the skills of architecture.
This is Caroline, who started 2 months ago by thinking about that and starting to discuss with all of us. And at the end, we were 15, and at the end now we are 150. And we are all there standing up to say why women have to become more visible, and we have to fight against discrimination and harassment. So this is so important. So, Marta,
Odile Decq began her architecture practice, Studio Odile Decq, immediately upon graduation amid sexism and doubt surrounding whether women could or should be architects in their own right, a doubt she'd in fact wanted to dispel since childhood. Today, she encourages those who work with her to be well-rounded and wants to instill in them a desire to do anything and everything. Decq hopes for future generations of architects that can create something entirely new and reinvent the field from where it stands today.
I don't have a particular design method. Usually it depends about the subject, about the place, and about the client. So sometimes ideas are coming immediately. Sometimes they are coming when I'm going on the site. Sometimes they are coming when I start to explain to the people in my office what I would like that we will live inside the building in the future. So we will experiment the building. But it's different processes. And at the same time, we do models, usually, little models by hand. And I react, and it's a kind of a workshop in my office. And I react, and we readjust, and we change, and when I say this, I was telling before that it's an adventure, that I know somewhere where I want to go, but I don't know precisely the way, and I discover through the way to go there, the project, and the shape and the form is coming at the end. It's a more intuitive process than a preconceived ideas or predefined ideas.
The buildings they completed for the Banque Populaire de l'Ouest in Rennes with Peter Rice in 1990 brought them numerous awards and international recognition. Odile remains independent and innovative in her work, seeking to combine nature and habitat, and to create a comfortable and interesting environment for people. She has created many works in her own unique style throughout her career, including commercial spaces, cultural spaces, offices, residences, etc. The Le Peur restaurant and the renovation of Maison Bernard are two of the more representative projects of her. Odile creating a new space in the Opera Garnier. In order to ensure the possibility of completely removing the project without damage to the existing structure, she was not allowed to touch any of the walls, the pillars, or the ceiling. The design for this project is based around creating a space that will highlight the restaurant inside the Opera Garnier, without mimicking the existing monument, but respecting it while affirming its truly contemporary character. The red carpeting flows down the steps of the main staircase dramatically, spreading out into the center of the black floor below, and running under the tables until it arrives at the edge of the facade.
With mirrors on both sides, expressing the sinuous lines that I did for the glass facade, and the reflection is to increase the perception of the space. And I go for adventure every time. And I try to manage all the conditions of the project. So the function, the budget, the geography, the sociology of the people who will use it, the philosophy of the place, the art involved in my life, whatever. Architecture is not only functional, you know. The function is one of the parts of the game.
This is a residential renovation project that Odile is involved in. Decq used color to structure her renovation of the house, which has a bright red exterior with bulging round and oval windows and skylights. Decq and Bernard chose new schemes for different sections of the house, creating an equally brightly colored interior, with pinks, yellows, blues, reds and greens, among the shades used in different areas of the house.
C'est quelque chose où le corps humain se sent bien. Parce qu'effectivement, il n'y a pas d'aspérité, il n'y a que des perspectives qui fuient, qui partent, etc. Donc, moi, je m'y sens très bien en tout cas. Et je crois que plusieurs personnes, parce que j'ai vu pas mal de gens passer dans cette maison, et en fait, je crois que les gens, d'une manière, trouvent ça joyeux. Et ça, c'est important, que l'architecture soit joyeuse, parce que ça rend les humains plus heureux. C'est confortable. Et en même temps, on a des surprises tout le temps. Donc, c'est formidable. For me, architecture is an adventure. It's an adventure for being able to discover what I want to do. So it's always something which is like a narration, but at the same time it's something that this is filling my life, and I can't do anything else than architecture every day, every hour. Because even if I travel, if I walk somewhere, if I go to a movie, if I go to watch a movie, etc., I'm always concerned by architecture. Architecture is filling the life, and it's a joy to do it, and at the same time, I hope that I can give some pleasure for people with it.